Hello my dear students, I welcome you all one more time on my YouTube channel. Today I am going to start the second part of this particular chapter, matter and magnetism. Okay, in this particular chapter we are going to discuss the basic difference between diamagnetic, paramagnetic and ferromagnetic materials. Okay, in this particular we have just ended this particular topic in the previous chapter. In the previous chapter we have discussed that these particular materials are diamagnetic, these particular are paramagnetic, and these particular materials are ferromagnetic materials. Okay, mean to say that diamagnetic materials are you can say repel, feel the force of repulsion when put in an external magnetic field. Paramagnetic material feel a weak force of attraction when put in the particular in external magnetic field, and ferromagnetic material is attraction feels the strong force of attraction when they are placed in the external magnetic field. Okay, in case of diamagnetic materials, these particular values are very important. For diamagnetic material, the value of psi is -1 to 0. In case of paramagnetic, 0 to any particular constant, and in case of ferro, it is very greater than as compared to, you can say, as compared to 1. This value is very large. If this value is very large, that means to say that these particular materials you can say feel the force of attraction when placed in external magnetic field. One more basic conceptual clarity. I know this particular topic is somewhat in just a, you can say, a theoretical type topic, but the basic difference in case of diamagnetic materials, you can say all materials are consist of atoms, and atoms are consist of electrons. Okay, and electron is nothing but a charge. When charge moves in its orbit, they produces the current, and if they produces the current, they can also produce the magnetic dipole moment. Okay, all the electrons, this is all the electron move in their orbits, they produce dipole magnetic moment. Okay, dipole magnetic moment. Okay, but when there is no external magnetic field, the net dipole moment, that net dipole magnetic moment is 0. When these materials are put in an external magnetic field, these particular diamagnetic materials they produce magnetic moment, they produce dipole magnetic moment, but in the opposite direction. Mean to say that in diamagnetic materials, this particular dipole magnetic moment oppose the dipole magnetic moment oppose the external magnetic field, and these, in case of paramagnetic materials, yes, dipole moments, magnetic dipole moments weakly support the or you can say the direction of dipole moment and the external magnetic field is same, and here is the strong, you can say, strong support. This is the basic concept that should be in your mind. Okay, so in case of diamagnetic substances, first is diamagnetic substances, or you can say diamagnetic material. Diamagnetic substances are those which have tendency to move from stronger to the weaker part of the external magnetic field, mean to say that they oppose the influence of external magnetic field. In other words, unlike the way a magnet attracts material like iron, it would repel a diamagnetic substance. A bar of diamagnetic material is placed in an external magnetic field. Field lines are expelled and the field inside the material is reduced to zero. In a non-uniform magnetic field, the bar will tend to move from high to low. Simple concept: if in case of uniform magnetic field, the lines are repelled, but in case of non-uniform magnetic field, this particular material try to move from you can say high value of magnetic field to low value of magnetic field. Electrons in an atom orbit around the nucleus and possess orbital angular momentum. These orbiting electrons act like a current carrying loop, hence have an orbital magnetic moment. When these particular electrons move in an orbit, then according to Q by 2T, they produce a current. Diamagnetic substances are those in which the resultant magnetic moments per atom is zero. When an external magnetic field is applied, electrons with magnetic moment in the same direction as the field slow down. Electrons with movement opposite to the field speed up. Mean to say that you can say these electrons produce magnetic field opposite to the external applied magnetic field when they are placed in a external magnetic field. As a result, the substances develops a net magnetic moment opposite to the applied magnetic field. That's why there is a force of repulsion. Some diamagnetic materials are particular example: bismuth, copper, lead, silicon, nitrogen at standard temperature and pressure. Diamagnetism is present in all the substances. However, the effect is so weak in most cases that it gets shifted by other effects like paramagnetism and ferromagnetism. Okay, all these particular statements are very important. If you find a question related to diamagnetism in your board exams, then this particular theory you have to write. You have to write all these particular points in the paper. Okay, but the basic conceptual clarity should be there. Next is there is a concept of superconductors. There is a concept of superconductors and Meissonier effect. That particular effect is Meissonier effect is related to the diamagnetism. The most exotic diamagnetic materials are superconductors. The superconductors, which is basically part of you can say a modern day computers, which is part of modern day computers. So these are metals. These are nothing but metals cooled to very low temperatures, which exhibit both perfect conductivity and perfect diamagnetism. Here the field lines are completely expelled, and in case of this superconductor, the value of psi is -1 and mu r is the relative permeability is 0, because relative permeability is equal to 1 plus psi, which we have defined when we were deriving the relation between magnetization and magnetic intensity, and that in that case that particular concept is known as Meissonier effect. This concept is known as Meissonier effect. Superconducting magnets are widely exploited in variety of situations. For example, for running magnetically leviated superfast trains. This particular concept used in, you can say the fastest maglev train, which are basically running in which is part of China. So China using this particular concept for the production of fastest moving trains, Okay, next is paramagnetism. This paramagnetism materials are not strongly attracted by or not strongly repelled by they not feel the strong force of attraction or feel the strong force of repulsion when placed in a particular external magnetic field, but they are weakly attracted. Weakly, the weak force of attraction. Paramagnetic substances are those which get weakly magnetized when placed in an external magnetic field. They have tendency to move from a region of weak magnetic field to a strong magnetic field, that is, they get weakly attracted to a magnet. Individual atoms or ions in paramagnetic materials possess a permanent magnetic dipole moment. Due to these ceaseless random thermal motions, no net magnetization is seen. When there is no external magnetic field, the net magnetic moment is zero. With the application of strong external magnetic field, the atomic dipoles aligns with the applied field and enhance the magnetic field inside the material, and that particular magnitude is 1 part in, mean to say that the weakly magnetized when placed in a non-uniform magnetic field, such paramagnetic material move from weak to strong field, but the diamagnetic materials move from strong to weak. Okay, and some paramagnetic materials are sodium, aluminium, calcium, oxygen and copper chloride. For a paramagnetic material, both psi and relative, or you can say the permeability, depend not only on the material but also on the sample temperature, at which point all the dipoles are perfectly aligned with the field. When placed in a non-uniform magnetic field, such paramagnetic material move from weak field to strong field. Weak field to strong field. The last one is ferromagnetism. Ferromagnetic material substances are those which get strongly magnetized when placed in an external magnetic field. They have strong tendency to move from region of weak field to strong magnetic field, that is, they get strongly attracted to a magnet. Each individual atom in a ferromagnetic material possesses a magnetic dipole moment of its own. On a microscopic level, atoms interact with one another, so they have that they spontaneously align themselves in a common direction, forming domains. Without an external magnetic field, the magnetization varies randomly from domain to domain and resulting in a zero bulk magnetization. Again, here if there is no external magnetic field, the net magnetic moment is zero, or you can say the magnetization is zero. Application of an external magnetic field results in the domains and their motion orienting in the direction of the field, and simultaneously the domain oriented in B0 to grow in size, means this particular magnetization is increased when they are placed in an external magnetic field. The existence of domains and their motion in B0 is not speculative under a microscope after this particular concept. And the next is each individual atom, just we have discussed this. So mean to say that the para and this particular diamagnetism related to the concept of dipole moments. Okay, in case of para and ferro, the aligns, this particular material aligns the magnetic field, external magnetic field, increase the magnetization of this material, but in case of diamagnetics, the everything is in opposite direction. Okay, so conceptual clarity, I think you are able to understand my point. The basic difference should always be in your mind, and these all particular lines you can write in your board exams if they ask you a short note or a question related to para and ferromagnetism. Okay, so that's all from this particular chapter. Okay, so next is the exercise. I will try to give you the hints related to all the questions which are part of your exercise, and all the questions are just basically nothing but all the questions are directly formula based questions. All the questions are directly formula based question. Are you able to understand my point or not? Directly you can use the formula. Question number 5.1. A short bar magnet placed with its axis at 30 degree with a uniform external magnetic field of 0.25 Tesla experiences a torque of magnitude equal to 4.5 into 10 raised to power minus 2. What is the magnitude of magnetic moment? What is the, and the value of torque is nothing but, the value of torque is nothing but mb sine theta, or you can say m cross b. So here theta is given, b is given, torque is given. You can easily find the value of magnetic moment. You can easily find the value of m. You can easily find the value of m. Are you able to understand my point or not? Okay, next question. A short bar magnet of magnetic moment, here magnetic moment is given, is placed in a uniform magnetic field. Magnetic field is given. If the bar is free to rotate in the plane of field, which orientation would correspond to its stable and unstable equilibrium? What is the potential energy magnet in each case? The stable equilibrium will be in when the direction of, you can say, magnetic field and magnetic moment is same. So if there is theta is equal to 0, as we have discussed in the previous chapter, if theta is equal to 0 and theta is equal to 0 and theta is equal to 180 degree, the, you can say, the bar magnet is in equilibrium condition. But when theta is equal to 0, there is a stable equilibrium, and when theta is equal to 180 degree, there is a unstable equilibrium. And the formula is u is equal to nothing but minus pe cos theta. You can easily find, in case of p, there is, this is the formula of dipole moment in electric field. In case of magnetic field, formula is mb cos theta. In first case the theta is 0, and in next case theta is 180. So you can easily find the value of potential energy at that particular point. But remember, when theta is equal to 0, the particular bar magnet is in stable equilibrium. When theta is equal to 180 degree, the bar magnet is in unstable equilibrium. Are you able to getting my point or not? Next question is 5.3. A closely wound, you can say 5.3, a closely wound solenoid of 800 tons and area of cross section 2.5 into 10 raised to power 4 meter square carries a current of 3 ampere. Explain the sense in which the solenoid act as like a bar magnet. What is its associated magnetic moment? Okay, you can explain the sense in which the solenoid will, okay, if the current, this is particular, the, you can say, if this is a solenoid, and in case of infinite solenoid, the magnetic field will be in this direction. If magnetic field in this direction, when this magnetic field comes out to be this solenoid and form a you can say complete loop, they come back in this direction. So in bar magnet, outside the bar magnet, magnetic field is going from north to south and inside south to north. So this particular part is behave as a south pole, and this particular part behave as a north pole. This particular part behave as a north pole. And here you have to find the value of magnetic moment. Magnetic moment is nothing but NIA. Magnetic moment is here, N is 800, I is 3, and A is 2.5 into 10 raised to power minus 4. You can directly put the value and you will get your answer. 5.4. If the solenoid in exercise 5.3 is free to turn about its vertical direction and uniform horizontal magnetic field of this particular is applied, what is the magnitude of torque on the solenoid when its axis makes an angle 30 degree with the direction of the applied field? Here from the question 5.3 you will easily get the value of M. NIA is nothing but magnetic moment, and to solve the question 5.4 you have to just directly M cross B. M is nothing but NIA, and NIA could be sine theta, and theta is 30. Theta is 30. You can directly put the values, you will get your answer. This is directly formula based question, need not to be very you can say here your calculation part is there, but the conceptually these particular questions are directly formula based. Okay, directly formula based. 5.5, a bar magnet of magnetic moment 1.5 is this lies aligned with the direction of the uniform magnetic field of this. What is the amount of work done required by an external torque to turn the magnet so as to align its magnetic normal to the field? Okay, initially you can say initial magnetic you can say potential energy 5.5, initial potential energy is minus P dot P, sorry, not P, minus MB cos 0 first. This is basically 5.5 first part. U final, we have to find the value of work done when you can say the normal to the field direction, minus MB cos 90, minus MB cos 90, then the amount of work done will be change in potential energy, final potential energy minus initial. You will get the value cos 90 0 minus plus MB cos 0, the end value of M is given 1.5, B is given 0.22 Tesla, cos 01, you will easily get the value. And second part, U final will be minus MB cos 180, opposite is the field direction, and U initial will be same, and U final minus U initial will be the value of work done. This question is also directly formula based. What is the torque on the magnet in case 1? In case 1 you will get M cross. In case 1, in both the cases the value of torque is 0. In case of case 1, no, when the normal MB sin theta, you have to sin theta is 90, and case 2 is 0. Case 2 is 0. This is in, you can say B part, you have to directly put the formula torque is equal to MB sin theta. MB sin theta, M is magnetic moment or NIA, or this particular thing is given directly in your question. B is magnetic field, sin theta is the angle. In the first part theta is 90 degree, and second part theta is 0. Theta is 0. Are you able to understand my point or not? Question number 5.6. A closely wound solenoid 2000 tons and area of cross section is 1.6, carrying a current of this, suspended through its center, allowing it to turn in horizontal plane. Then horizontal plane. Then what is the magnetic moment associated with the solenoid? What is the magnetic moment associated with the solenoid? This particular question is again 2000 tons NIA. You have to directly put the formula for first part. You have to directly put the formula magnetic moment NIA. Everything is given in your question. What is the force and torque on the solenoid if the uniform magnetic field of 7.5 is set up at an angle of 30 degree with the axis of the solenoid? In case of the torque will be nothing but MB sin theta. And what is the value of, what is the force? The force will be 0. Force will be 0. Why? If the magnetic field is constant, the net force, we have derived the formula, the net force on this particular solenoid will be 0. You will get the value of torque by this, and F net is equal to 0. Okay. Next is, a short bar magnet has a magnetic moment is this. Give the direction and magnitude of magnetic field produced by a magnet at a distance of 10 cm from the center of the magnet. Let's say this is the magnet, and on the axial line, the magnetic field will be along the, at this particular point, the formula is magnetic field is nothing but mu naught by 4 pi 2m by r cube, r 10 into 10 raised to power minus 2 whole cube. This is the value of magnetic field along the axial line, and the direction of magnetic field and magnetic moment is same. And in case of normal bisector value is mu naught by 4 pi m divided by 10 into 10 raised to power minus 2 cube. Then you will get your answer. Everything is given in the question. And in case of equatorial plane, the direction of magnetic field is opposite to the direction of magnetic moment, dipole magnetic moment. Okay, are you able to understand my point or not? These are the basically question you can directly, all the questions are basically formula based questions. Okay, so that's all from my side. I hope you are getting all the concepts and all the questions. You are able to solve all the questions. And okay, so keep practicing. And soon I will start the next chapter, and the name of chapter will be electromagnetic induction. That particular electromagnetic induction is nothing but related to chapter number 4. So if you want to increase your understanding, or want to easily understand that particular chapter, you have to study chapter number 4. And even I must say, you have to solve all the previous chapter up to chapter number 5 very clearly, so you can easily understand the concepts of electromagnetic induction. Okay, so that's all from my side. Thank you so much. Take care. Namaskar. Bye bye.